Well, I remember you mentioned some of our other interviews that there were people that had property, you put property in their names, I don't know if there's any cash that you put aside or not. I don't know if there's any statute of limitations on that, but those people that you did that for, who ultimately just kept the properties and kept the money, none of them were trying to break you off something or
Nah.
at all, huh? They weren't like, okay, look,
I wasn't as fortunate as some people.
I got this $1 million property. I'm not going to give it back to you, but here's 50,000.
No.
That just wasn't happening.
No.
Was there a certain level of like, I want to do something to this person? Like,
oh yeah, you feel like that at times,
Yeah.
but I ain't crazy. I think real well.
Right, you go right back to prison again.
Go right back to prison
forever.
No. I never thought about collecting anything from anybody. When I was in prison, it's funny when I was first sitting there and I started to lose all my properties and I'm seeing stuff, just like vanish, houses I owe 20-some thousand on getting foreclosed on. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm pulling my hair out of my cell and I'm running to the walls and I'm like, oh, you're going to lose everything. You're going to get out of here. But then, I kind of pulled myself together and I told myself that I started with nothing in the cocaine business. I started with, I had 125, my boy had 125. And even to the point, where it came in prison that my boy wasn't my boy no more.
Mm-hmm.
I had to deal with that. Like, I got a dude that used to would jump in front of a bullet for me. He ain't like that no more. It ain't even, like, we hardly even talk anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you start to come to these realizations that all of the things that you had are no longer that way, then you go back into yourself.
I mean, there wasn't a level of like, look, I've had lots of situations in my life where I told someone that I would pay him a certain amount of money, but then, shit happens, situations change, they change, whatever else. And you could basically say, whatever. Yeah, we said that, but, I could justify it and say, I'm not going to pay you back for these reasons, and you're just going to have to hold that. But I've always felt like, as long as you do the right thing, even if the other person doesn't do the right thing, if you do the right thing, if I give someone my word that I'll do something for them, I always stand behind it. That was one of the principles that Vlad TV was formed on, was like, okay, no matter what, we make payroll every month. Everyone gets paid first before we do. Before we take any profits out, whatever, I'm the 100% owner. Before I take anything for myself, everyone gets paid first. And that's the way I've always been with everyone. People could talk shit about me, they can call me the police, whatever else. But the one thing that people can't say is that Vlad ripped me off or Vlad owes me money. You never hear that because it just doesn't happen.
Right.
In my business life and my personal life, if I told you I got this amount of money for you, when it's time for you to collect, you have the full amount.
And that's what it should be. And I try to do the same thing.
Right.
And there's been times that, a few people I owe some money. There's a few. I ain't going to say that I done paid everybody, but I still have the intention on paying them. I have never said that I am never going to pay you what I owe you.
Yeah.
I'm not in position right now to take care of that debt, but I'm like you on when it comes to that. I want to pay people to help me. I don't look at people who do me favors as somebody weak. Like a lot of people, you do them a favor, they look at that as being weak.
Yeah.
I don't look at it like that. I feel
Right.
that you did me a favor, and the people that I owe, I still talk to them. I still call them. They call me. I take their call. Hey man, I ain't got it yet. Here's $10. Here's $20. I can give you that. What I got in my pocket right now. But in the long run, I plan on taking care of it. But in my situation, I believe that what happened with me is that I lost my powers. I became in jail what they call an empty bottle, where when you no longer have value to people, they kind of get rid of you. You're no longer of use to them. They thought. But even when I was in prison, I had value. I did stuff. The movie 100 Kilos, I put that whole piece together. I got the money for them, and I did everything for them to put that movie together. It may not have been appreciated, but I was still able to create some value for myself. One of the things I found out when you're in prison is that you lose your value. You can't produce the way that you used to. And when you can't produce, people have a tendency to lose faith in your message.
I mean, yeah, you're in prison. What can you do? It's essentially your life stops.
It kind of did, right?
To a lot of people.
It kind of does, Vlad. When I was sitting in prison, right? And I don't know, I'm kind of a guy that I like to compete. If I play basketball, I want to beat the best. I'd want to beat the Bulls if I would have played, when they had Michael Jordan. So when I was in prison and I was sitting there and I wanted to compete with all these guys, the Puffies, the Russell Simmons, the Bill Gates. I didn't remember none of them. Right now, I want to compete with Jeff Bezos. I want to catch Jeff Bezos. I want to be the one to buy Amazon. That's one of my goals right now. That's my new goal.
Right. It's not actually for sale, though. It's a public company.
Right, so you can buy it.
Well, you could buy stock.
If you own the most stock, you own the company.
Yeah, yes.
You buy the vote, you buy the most votes.
Right. Technically, yes.
Technically, yes.
Amazon, let's just.
I mean, you got a dream, though.
You know
what my people used to tell me when I was little, and my mom don't really know how much she affected me when she used to say that. She say, shoot for the stars, and you just might hit the moon.
Right. Do you know how much Amazon's actually worth right now? I have the exact amount based on the number of shares outstanding versus.
Yeah, but those are just numbers. Once you learn how to play the game, numbers don't even mean that. Like right now with this building I got, it was just numbers.
Right.
It was nothing but numbers.
Well, you know what this number is?
Probably around 500 billion or something.
Yeah, you wish. 1.85 trillion. You got a few more weed bales to sell to get to that point.
But I don't think
1.85 trillion with a T.
I understand, and I don't think it's going to be done with weed. Weed is just a seed money.
I'm just joking.
I understand.
All I'm saying is that's an amount of money that no human being. I mean, because Jeff Bezos is only worth like 200 billion. Jeff Bezos cannot buy Amazon. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay.
I'm not trying to rain on your parade.
No, I know.
I'm not trying to stomp on your dreams.
And you're not the first one. When I did the interview with Jesse Katz when I was in prison, you read the article, and he thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
Getting out, you're gonna be telling politicians what to do. Oh well, yeah, I helped write the bill for Los Angeles marijuana. I'm helping do Detroit right now with their marijuana laws. So it's only the way you perceive things to be is what they are. It's not necessarily a reality is your reality. And my reality may not be everybody's reality. And the way we look at the world is totally different.